What's going on, everybody, and welcome to the start of our 2021-2022 season with our Titans online franchise team. We're starting things off here in the off season. We have the option to extend Jeffrey Simmons Jr.'s contract. We have the fifth-year option for him, and we're definitely going to accept that option. I love Jeffrey Simmons Jr. as a player. He's not the fastest, but he's great for run stopping. The direction that I'm going to go with this Titans team this year, I'm going to move him from his right end position to D tackle, and I think that will help him out a lot because I mean he's not the fastest defensive end. He gets burned around the corner a lot. He can't really contain. I think defensive tackle suits him better. Anyways, moving on in the offseason, you see here in free agency we had a big signing. We ended up signing corner Stephon Gilmore to the team to help shore up the defensive back area, and we'll get to that area a little bit more. But first, let's take a look at the team so far. This is the team before we added any rookies. So the only one that will be added onto the team will be um, Stephon Gilmore. So overall, our offense is pretty decent. You see, our lone X factor is Derrick Henry. Offensive line is decent. Center is a little bit of a question mark. I gotta start rotating between my centers. I have Ashley Hilton here, who's a better pass blocker than he is run blocker, and we have D'Angelo Flynn, who's a better run blocker than he is pass blocker. So something I got to pay attention to this season is if I know I'm planning on passing, just making that change, putting Hilton in that starting center just to shore up blocking a little bit better for me. And then whenever I'm looking to run the ball, I could throw Flynn in, and Flynn he should be able to do his job at run blocking. Anyways, taking a look here at the defense, we made a lot of changes down here. As I already talked about, Stephon Gilmore, we added him to the team. That's moving Jordan Hampton to our second string cornerback, and Trevor Williams will be our third string cornerback. So definitely loving my corners right now. We made some changes here also at end. We moved not Delaney Walker, I can't even think of his name right now. Walker, we moved him to left end. Kenny Vaccaro right here. He was our starting safety last year, but Kenny Vaccaro is getting older. He's taken a huge hit at speed. He was 84, 85 speed, I believe, and now he's down to 79. Luckily, he still has his hit power at 93. So he should be decent enough at linebacker. He should be able to keep up with some people, and definitely be able to fill the holes on be a great asset in the run. But backing up or replacing Kenny Vaccaro's safety position, we have Levi McPherson. Definitely has the speed. We're definitely sacrificing on hit power though. I love to use my safeties in the run game, so I'm definitely looking to improve that area. I'm not really sure. I'm not dead set on Levi McPherson. Only reason why I have him in this position right now is because he is a star player, and if any luck, if I can get a decent enough game out of him, I could probably potentially get him to superstar. But anyways, like I mentioned before, we have DeAndre Walker. We moved him from linebacker to defensive end, and we have Camelea Correa that we've also moved from linebacker to defensive end. The reason why I made these moves is basically because I need defensive ends with some speed that can help me contain against the mobile quarterbacks like the Deshaun Watson, the Russell Wilsons, and of the world. I mean, those escape artist quarterbacks. I need some speed on the outside to help me contain that. Before I used to have DeForest Buckner on the edge. Now, DeForest Buckner he does have um, he's decent enough at finesse moves and everything to help me with contains, but his speed is he's just too slow. Defensive tackle suits him better. Definitely suits Jeffrey Simmons Jr. better as well. So definitely made those moves, making those moves of bringing Correa and Walker down to defensive end will definitely help out the defensive end, the defense of line position a lot. So what you see me doing right here is there weren't really too many players in the draft that I saw that I wanted. So the players that I did see I wanted to try to scoop them up as early as possible. I'm looking at a defensive tackle, and there was a cornerback that I wanted to pick up because I'm not sure if I'm going to sign Stephon Gilmore back for a second season because he is getting older. Even though his stat wise he's right there. I think he has like 97 man. But you see, with our first pick, we ended up trying to pick up Deshaun. We ended up picking up Deshaun Goss. We wanted another guy, Silas. I can't remember what his last name, but he ended up going earlier to the Seattle Seahawks. So next best person on the board was Goss. After this, I just let the computer pick my players for me because, like I said, there weren't really too many players that I had my eye on. We got the one that we wanted. We got Deshaun Goss. He has a hidden trait. Everybody else, pretty much just it was basically a blind pick. But the computer actually did a pretty good job for me. I definitely wanted to pick up another running back. Well, as you see, he has a hidden star. His hidden trait is star. Um, I definitely wanted to pick up another middle linebacker. I just wasn't sure who I wanted to pick. Definitely wanted a running back also because I let Dion Lewis walk this offseason. If you don't remember that, we did not choose to extend Dion Lewis's contract because he is a 33-year-old running back, I believe. And I felt like I could find someone just as good, if not better, that I could end up developing through the draft. And they did pretty good. We have Quincy Pounds here at running back, 92 speed, 92 acceleration, 89 agility. Um, Obviously, he is a receiving back. He has no trucking at all. Stiff arm is low, but he's very elusive. So those spin moves and juke moves, he's definitely a receiving back. We'll use him as that. D'Angelo Gordon, decent corner, 5'9". Love the speed, love the acceleration. His zone coverage is also pretty decent. So he also he might end up being that third corner for us next season, as we have, like I said, Stephon Gilmore this year. We probably aren't going to re-sign him because he's going to be expensive as hell. So probably end up moving Jordan Hampton to corner number 1, Trevor Williams to number 2, and that guy might be our third corner. You never know. So just still thinking ahead right there. A lot of these guys, I'm gonna be honest, they're probably not gonna make the team at all. Like this defensive tackle for sure, he's not making the team at all. My defense is pretty damn good. Like my defensive line is pretty damn good. This guy, this free safety, I'm still on the fence. The only thing that's keeping him around is that 89 speed. I love speed at free safety, but he's also fairly short. I think he's 5'9", 5'10". I'm not sure, but overall he's horrible. A 57 overall. His speed and acceleration is the only thing that's keeping me intrigued on him. He has a slim to none chance of making the final roster. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, overall, I think we only end up keeping maybe 3 or 4 of these guys on from that we ended up drafting. But anyways, into our week 1 game. Our week 1 game is a rivalry matchup up against the Houston Texans. Last year we ended up splitting with the Texans. These division battles are always tough. You can never judge things off of how the first game goes. Like first game, I think I ended up beating him by like maybe 2 or 3 touchdowns, and that next game when we played against each other, he ended up just straight dog walking me. Like it's always tough up against division opponents. So, anyways, like I said, we're going to see how our new acquisitions, how the new moves we made affect the defense. And starting off things, he tries to take off with freaking Deshaun Watson, and Brown makes him pay. We just cannot recover the fumble at all. And anyways, he ends up recovering, and Jordan Hampton comes off the edge and gets a nice little sack for us and forces the early punt by the Texans. Oh, what I didn't mention about our offense, Kendall Robinson, he just made the catch right here. He's a star dev player. I found him 2 seasons ago, actually, in free agency. I've just held on to him. He had a hidden dev ability. The biggest weakness for my offense right now that I feel is our receiver position. I would like to develop a superstar receiver. So Kendall Robinson, he's not the highest overall. I think he might be like around 70, 72 overall. But like I said, he is star dev. So if I can get some scenarios going for him, I could potentially get him to superstar, and that could be the start of a beautiful thing there. But overall, our receivers are still decent. We still have Adam Humphries, I believe, but we just don't have him in the starting lineup as much as like we did last season. And Stephon Gilmore showing up here early for us, getting a nice little interception. But we have Kendall Robinson, as he's star dev, that we're trying to develop and get him to superstar because he would be the easiest. Tajay Sharp, is another one that we're trying to develop, but he is a bronze or normal development bronze. I call it bronze because it is bronze, but he's bronze development, and basically pretty much all of our receivers are bronze except for Adam Humphries and Kendall Robinson. Only reason I'm not worried about trying to develop Adam Humphries is because he's too old. He's what 8-9 years in the league. Um, yeah, there's the only way that he's going to get up to superstars if we go an entire season to have him in the top 5 in receiving. So I mean, that can happen, but I don't want to wait that long. I'd rather get a receiver that I can start developing right now, get him up to superstar, and get things rolling. So this entire season, really, whenever we throw the ball, we're really going to try to be force feeding Kendall Robinson, get him a lot of touchdowns, get him at least 100 yards receiving per game, and try to get things going for him. David Moore is another receiver that we have. That's a very good receiver. He's also bronze development, like I was saying before. Good God, Derrick Henry. And I almost forgot mention running backs as well. So as you see, I still use Derrick Henry. I think I made this statement in one of my videos last season with this team that coming in here. Oh, here he is right now, Jalen Moore. Jalen Moore is. I'm still sticking to what I said. I want to get Jalen Moore up to at least a superstar running back. If I can get him up to superstar, that'd be amazing. He's 70 or not 70. He's 67 overall running back, but his stats, Jalen Moore's stats, like his juke, his trucking, and all this other stuff, like it doesn't match what I feel a 67 overall running back should look like. He's pretty damn good. So we're also going to be trying to develop him, get him going, get him up to superstar. Kendall Robinson, get him to superstar, and if we can get like one more receiver, I would love to get what's his name, AJ Brown. I'd love to get AJ Brown up to a superstar receiver. So just I don't know, man. We just have to see how things go, but still on offense, Derrick Henry is our workhorse. We're going to still try to get Derrick Henry his numbers, get him his touches, get him his touchdowns and everything, but at the same time, we're still going to try to figure out a way to finesse things around and get Jalen Moore a few scores, everything, to try to get some scenarios going for him, and also try to get McCullough on point so he can start throwing touchdowns to Kendall Robinson. Jordan Hampton right there. I had an interception with him right there, but we just overran it. But overall, our first half of the season, our defense is playing pretty nice. I mean, they pitched the shutout for the first half, which is surprising because as you see DeAndre Hopkins right there, you see what he's capable of. I'm not understanding. I thought they would at least call that one a fumble. Like, he caught the ball, came down on 2 feet, and then he got hit immediately and dropped it. I thought it would be a fumble. I mean, it doesn't really matter because he fumbled it out of bounds, but it is what it is. But yeah, our defense played pretty well for the team that they're going up against. It's not easy dealing with these the escape artist quarterbacks and receivers with double me. So definitely a problem there. Back here on offense, we struggled. We ended up taking a sack by J.J. Watt. Just rolled out a little bit too far, and I didn't even really double team J.J. Watt as much as I probably should have this game. Luckily, neither him or Jadeveon Clowney really got loose and caused big problems. Oh, beautiful interception right there. If you wind that clip back, you can see I was using Jordan Hampton. I pretty much just read that play. I jammed the slot receiver, and I saw Will Fuller coming inside on a slant. I just figured, hey, maybe he's going to try to hit this slant right here, and I just peeled off of my block or my press and end up getting a nice little pick six. And if I can get another scenario with Jordan Hampton, I would love it. Like, I don't think it was fair when I had that scenario last season with Jordan Hampton. I can't remember who I went up against. I think I went up against the Jets. It was difficult. It was very difficult to get him going in that game. And I mean, it's tough because I had to, for his scenario, I either had to get 1 or 2 interceptions with him, or I had to get a couple tackle for losses with him. And getting a tackle for loss with a corner is very difficult. Anyways, back on defense, the Texans the Texans on offense, me back on defense, they were straight driving and ended up putting up another score, made the score 26-14. And me back on offense, like I said, we're going to get Derrick Henry his numbers. He had a beautiful stiff arm on Jadeveon Clown. He just tossed him off him like he was nothing, like he wasn't even there. Now we're in that area where we about to score. Throw in Jalen Moore, get him another touchdown. This is his second touchdown of the game. Hopefully, if we can get him a third one, maybe we can get a surprise dev upgrade in week 2, which is probably unlikely, not going to happen. But maybe if we can at least average one to... Good God. The hit power on this team, man. The hit power on this team is ridiculous. But yeah, like I was saying, if we could probably average maybe 2 to maybe 3 touchdowns a game with Moore, maybe he'll eventually get a dev opportunity to pop. Right here, that was just a bad coverage call. I ended up calling the cover 6. I didn't really look at the play art. If I would have looked at the play art before I called it, I probably wouldn't have called that defensive play. In that cover 6 that I just called, it was crazy because it had my corner basically playing like he was in a cover 3, and the safety to that side that he ended up throwing, he ended up jumping down into like a purple or a yellow zone, and just looked wonky in the first place. Like, I don't know. Like, normally if ever I call something like that, I'm using that safety that is being drugged down out of into like a crazy position just in case, basically, as a safety precaution, because it's not right. Like, you shouldn't be having a safety do that. And, I mean, hey, he made me pay for it. But anyways, a great, not great. It was a pretty good. It was I'll call it a decent game. Week 1 up against the Houston Texans. Offense is great. I mean, I give my offense maybe like a C, like a high C, just because we did have that one possession where J.J. Watt just completely destroyed us. Defense, I give them a B. We had a pitch the first half shutout, kind of melts it away. In the second half, ended up giving up 21 points. But luckily our offense had given us a big enough lead. But anyways, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like. Week 2 is on the way. I will catch you guys next time.